What up, guys? It's Riot. Today I decided to bring you my first ever PC YouTube video. So, mind if everything's a little shaky or the editing's not very good. I'm still in the process of learning how to do everything on my PC. So, bear with me. I'm streaming daily now on Twitch at Riot Archangel. But today I decided to bring you a video that's a little bit different than what I normally make. Normally I just make gameplay videos or videos that are just meant to try and be funny. But today I decided to bring you the 5 basic tips I would give to anybody starting new for Apex Legends. Okay, so tip number 1 I would give: find a main character. There are 3 categories of characters. There's attackers, support characters, and defenders. I recommend, if you're starting fresh and you don't know who you want to main, go with a support character. Support characters are good in 99% of situations. If you choose a character such as Bloodhound or Crypto, they can help you know how to approach an attack or approach moving back, because you're going to know where those enemies are. Or if you pick a character such as Lifeline, who's also a support, you're going to be able to heal your team. You're going to be able to do a whole lot. If I had to pick my favorite support character, it'd be Crypto, because using his EMP drone is probably, before you go into a fight, it's the best way to deter an enemy from fighting back, really. They're just going to be on their heels because they need to heal up. But I think the most widely regarded best support character is, without a doubt, Lifeline. Lifeline has multiple abilities. Her ult or ultimate is she can drop a care package in, and that's good for her entire team. She can res quickly, and she doesn't have to physically res because she has a res bot that will res and put a shield in front of the person that she's resing. And then she has a heal bot, so you don't have to waste your valuable meds like your med kits or stims, and you'll be good. Second, there's attackers, such as Mirage, Wraith, Octane. Those are the 3 mains. I say that attackers are, depending on how you want to play it, if you play it slow or if you play it quick, I think the quicker play style, I want to attack, hence the name attackers, I think that you should go with attackers if you really want to push and push and push and really get high kill games. I think that widely regarded is the best character, and in my opinion is the best attacker, is Wraith. Wraith has a few really good abilities. She can warm all of her teammates if somebody is scoping on her, if there are traps nearby, if a bullet flies at them. She can press a button. If you're playing Wraith, you can press a button and warn your entire team that they're there. Secondly, she also can go into the thing called the Void, which essentially you can run around without being shot at. It takes a second to get into there. I think it takes 2.5 seconds to physically go into the Void. But once you're in there, you have a 1.25% speed, or 1.5 times speed buff, so you go faster, and you can't take bullets. The only downside to this is that people know where you're going if you're out in like an open field, because you have a streak behind you when you're moving through the Void. And then there's, of course, defenders. Defenders are really meant for, and now they're becoming a lot more common. You'll see a lot more people playing defensively because of the new way that Apex works with Season 6, which I might get into that in a new video, or in another video. But defenders are such as Caustic, Gibraltar, Rampart. I think widely regarded the best defender, and Watson. I think the widely regarded best defender would be Gibraltar. He has a arm shield that goes in front of his gun, so when he's aiming, almost a fourth of his body is covered up by that shield. Now, that can be broken, but it at least gives you some area where you can't get shot whenever you're shooting at somebody. He also has his ult. He drops a giant bomb brigade, or I think it was called the Blitzkrieg in World War II. He drops a ton of bombs on wherever he throws the smoke grenade. It's similar to Bangalore's ult. That's not really useful in a lot of situations, but it's just It's how you play him and how he comes together as a character that makes him widely regarded as the best defensive character. So, now moving on to tip number 2. Tip number 2, be good with every weapon. I know that you're tempted to just play the weapons that you find fine or play the weapons that you're good with. Be good with every weapon. This is especially good for beginning of the game, before even the second ring closes. If you have like a Mozambique and a G7, that's not the best loadout. You're probably not going to find a gun like an R301 or an R99 off the bat. That's just most of the time not going to happen. So get good with every weapon. And here's one of the ways that Apex is so good. Apex, there's a thing called the shooting range, which essentially you can go in and shoot at targets. There's a way you can turn on bots so they shoot back at you, so you can understand how to fight an actual opponent that's shooting back at you and to avoid fire. So one of my examples of this is I was really bad with the Wingman, and the Wingman is regarded as probably the best gun in the game due to its high damage and low amount of ammo that it physically uses whenever you're fighting. So I was really bad with it, and I practiced probably before every single game, maybe a half an hour, or before every single time I start playing the actual game for probably around half an hour, just practicing with the Wingman. And now I'm really good with the Wingman, and I'm happy about it. So that would probably be my most important tip, because you're probably only going to find like a Mozambique or an EVA 8 or a P2020 or an RE45. Hey, maybe you get lucky every game and find a Volt SMG or a Havoc. I don't know your luck, but my luck's pretty bad. So get good with every weapon. I think that's maybe even more important than finding a main, because you want to feel comfortable actually shooting at people. Tip number 3, this isn't as important, but learning this, it draws a lot of really good things that can come to your game. Know your terrain. Knowing your terrain comes with knowing what area you're dropping to. If you know that there's an area you're dropping to, let's say I land at Skyhook, I know that there's areas around that I could be about to get shot at, or I could go to get some better loot if the place wherever you land in isn't as good. I've been there where I've had really bad weapons, and being able to know your terrain and know where everything is around you is so vital for this game, and for basically all Battle Royales. Then the other part to this tip is, with knowing that there's 365 degrees of angles that you can be shot at. That's a lot of angles to be checking 24/7. If you want to have fun and you don't want to be looking over your back all the time, pay attention to your map and know where there might be people. And know if you hear gunshots coming from somewhere, you know where that is, and you know, hey, if we're getting pushed, it might be from the back because we have this giant place behind us. Just know where everything is, so you don't have to run into that situation where you're getting shot at and you have no idea where everybody is. So, moving on to tip number 4. Know when to attack and know when to stay back. I think that comes with, that's probably the most difficult, I'd have to say, tip, because it really just comes with playing the game. So, when it comes to physically going and playing the game, sometimes it's not the best time to push. Like, the best strategy for just getting wins is third partying. So what third partying basically is, there are 2 teams fighting, you run in there and shoot the last team. They're going to be weak, they're going to be low, they're going to be low on ammo, they're going to have to reload, they're going to have to heal, they're going to have to do a whole lot of things. So knowing when to attack is very vital when it comes to actually getting wins. If you rush in on a team, or on 2 teams when they're fighting, you never know if they're both going to turn on you and shoot you, and now you just did that and wasted your chance and died. You also have the luxury of being able to control a fight, because knowing when to attack and attacking at the right time, you can attack with high ground. You can know when they're about to start healing, so they're not going to have their guns up. Because I guarantee you, whenever they're popping a shield battery and you shoot at them, they're not going to finish that shield battery. They're going to try and pull out their guns and lay down fire back to try and stop you. So Knowing when to attack is a vital part of this game. The amount of times I've lost because I attacked at the wrong time or didn't attack at the wrong time, it goes both ways. Just learn this. Learn how to do this. You might even have to think consciously about this before you go about it. Is this the right time to attack? And it really all comes with how you play the game and feeling the game out for how good the team is that you're about to go against. This is tip number 5, and I think this is probably the least important tip, but it's still very vital. Have good team chemistry. This comes with 2 tips, or kind of a 5.5, like one of that, like that. So essentially what this tip is, have good team chemistry with who you're playing with. Have at least 1 or 2 people that you can load into duos or trios with that you know you can depend on. You know that you're going to be able to decide where to go really quickly. You're going to be able to decide your plan of attack. Because if you rush in and your teammates over there doing who knows what, still looting, you're not going to be in a good situation because you're rushing in at a disadvantage off bat. So find good team chemistry. Have someone that you can depend on to be reliable and to hold their own. You don't want to be carrying your team the entire time. So find somebody who you're friends with, who you're having fun playing with, and you can rely on. Then there also comes with, this is a lot less important, with being able to have characters that work well together. Picking Octane and Wraith together, they're not going to be very good because they only have speed on their team. You want players that play off each other well. The perfect example of this is Bangalore and Bloodhound. Bangalore throws down smoke, and Bloodhound can see through that smoke when he does his passive ability, or his tactical ability. He can do a scan out and see where all of the enemies are. But the best part about that is, because you have that good team chemistry, they're not going to be able to see back through that smoke, and you're just going to be able to slaughter. It's going to work out a lot better whenever you're going into fights. And sometimes you don't really even need it. Once you get into the higher levels of playing Apex, you're not going to need this tip. But for starting, it's definitely better to get every single advantage you can going into a fight. And that's just kind of one of the ways that you can do that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been streaming daily on Twitch. Come watch, come follow. I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers on YouTube. Or no, 100 subscribers on YouTube and 50 followers on Twitch. So if you wouldn't mind going over there and watching, hopefully we can have a good time. I don't have many viewers, so you're going to get some nice interaction. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. Type in the comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn notifications on if you really like this video. Yeah, see you next time. I hope you have a good day.